ओ भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। Now we will chant the dhyana shlokas of Dakshinamurti and then continue with the lectures. So kindly everybody, once again you can mute whoever has joined in just now. So again Sunita can repeat after me so that you have a chance to listen once and repeat once. So there are 5 dhyana shlokas and 10 main verses. So we'll chant the 5 dhyana shlokas plus 2 main verses. Mauna vyakhya prakatita parabrahma tattvam yuvanam.
मौनव्याख्या प्रकटित परब्रह्म तत्त्वं युवानम्
वर्षिष्ठान्ते वसदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः
वर्षिष्ठान्ते वसदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः
आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपम्
आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपम्
स्वात्मारामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे
स्वात्मारामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे
वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषन्नम्
वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषन्नम्
सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात्
सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात्
त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवम्
त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवम्
जननमरणदुःखच्छेददक्षं नमामि
जननमरणदुःखच्छेददक्षं नमामि
चित्रं वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा
चित्रं वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा
गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्न संशयाः
गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्न संशयाः
निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणाम्
निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणाम्
गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः
गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः
ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये
ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये
निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः
निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः
First verse. विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी
विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी
तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम्
तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम्
विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम्
विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम्
पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्
पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोत्
भूतै यथा निद्रया
भूतै यथा निद्रया
पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतै यथा निद्रया
पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतै यथा निद्रया
यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये
यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये
आत्मानमेवाद्वयम्
आत्मानमेवाद्वयम्
यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम्
यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम्
तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये
तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये
I think we won't get further than first verse today, so we will stop there. Okay. So again, welcome to all to the series of sessions on Dakshinamurthy Stotram, which is not only a stuti of Lord Dakshinamurthy, who is Brahma Vidya Guru, but it also is a Prakarana Grantha, which contains the teachings of the Upanishads. Yeah? So we always begin the class with the familiar shloka, Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam. Yeah? So there we are saluting this teaching tradition, unbroken teaching tradition, which has originated with Sadashiva. And that Sadashiva is Dakshinamurthy, or has manifested as Dakshinamurthy. And then the knowledge has been flowing down from Guru to Shishya, then Shishya becomes Guru, then again Guru Shishya, and finally up to my immediate Guru, I offer Asmat Guru, I offer my pranams. And hence we see that knowledge, can never be the copyright of any guru. Yeah, if at all, it is Adi Guru, the first guru, who has all the knowledge. Sarvajnaha, Sarvashaktiman, that is the Adi Guru, Dakshinamurthy. Now, this we are connected with the Shankara Advaita Parampara. Yeah. Now, there are similar shlokas and in other traditions, other sampradayas, like the Vaishnava Sampradaya. Maybe they have the shloka. They pray to Hayagriva. Hayagriva is the Sarva Vidyanam Adhara. And that prayer is Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmala Spatikakritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahi. Same thing. There also one prays to the unbroken teaching tradition. Yeah, so I thought I will just clarify that. Then what we have seen in the last two sessions are 4 dhyana shlokas out of 5. And these dhyana shlokas are not a part of Dakshinamurthy Stotram. They have been contributed by other acharyas, just like our 9 Gita shlokas, they have been written by one Swami, what is his name? One Acharya, which is not a part of Gita and not even a part of Mahabharata. Yeah? So, in these dhyana shlokas, Madhusudana Saraswati is the name of the Acharya who wrote the 9 Gita shlokas. So, these dhyana shlokas are describing the symbolism of Dakshinamurthy. So, we have seen they describe Dakshinamurthy as the Yuvanam, as a youthful figure sitting at the foot of the banyan tree, facing and surrounded by the Sanakadi Rishimunis who are receiving the knowledge of Brahma Vidya. So, Brahma Vidya Tattvam, they are receiving from the Guru Dakshinamurthy. Yeah? And we also saw the description of how that Guru is a Nidhi, treasure of all the Vidyas. And that Guru is the Jnana Data, the giver of knowledge, and also Bhishaj. That word Bhishaj in Sanskritam means doctor. Yeah. So that Dr. Dakshinamurthy is removing the Bhavarogaha. Bhavarogaha is samsara. And what kind of samsara? We saw that Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham Namami. So Dakshinamurthi is Daksha, capable, Samartha, in destroying the symptoms of samsara as, papas, jara, vyadhi, dukkham, all these afflictions of adi, vyadhi, of the body and the mind. So what is the virus here? Just like, we are researching, science is doing research for a vaccine for corona. So here, Dakshinamurthy destroys the virus of Ajnanam, ignorance. Ignorance of my true nature. Yeah. And what is the vaccine here? Brahma Vidya, knowledge. Yeah. So that is why Shankaracharya will repeat unlimited times in the commentaries, Jnanameva Moksha. The one who wants to root out samsara, root out, not merely symptomatically, but remove from the root, that is only through knowledge. And that knowledge is Brahma Vidya. Yeah? So then we also saw these wonders in the Dhyana Shlokas. The wonder is the teacher is youthful and the students are aged. Yeah? Again, there are, figurative interpretations. The youthful Dakshinamurthy symbolizes the Nirguna Parabrahma, which is ageless, timeless, formless, Parama Tattvam. And the aged rishis, Sanakadi Rishimunis, represent the seekers of moksha, but who have very mature and pure minds that are free from the malam of samsara. So they are called in the Shastras as sadhana, chatushtayam sampannaha adhikaris, the top grade students who are just sitting in the presence of the Guru and receiving. Yeah. And the wonder is the teaching is in silence. Yeah. So how can a Guru teach and all their doubts be dispelled also, when there is no speech? Yeah. So that is because we saw again the various meanings there. No, one is sankalpa matrena. When the frequency of a transmitter matches perfectly with the frequency of the receiving station, then there is perfect data transmission. Yeah? So then that is how sankalpa matrena the Guru, can transfer or impart knowledge to the deserving students who are mature and ready for this knowledge. Yeah, that is one meaning. Then Mauna Vyakhya, teaching in silence, another meaning is given is Lakshana Vritya, indirectly. Yeah. So Mauna Vyakhyanam in this second meaning is not to be taken literally. Yeah. So what is the meaning here is that the Guru will not show us, this is Brahman, understand this. No. Rather, the Guru removes the erroneous conclusions and notions that we have about Brahman. Yeah. So the Guru will remove the ignorance if the students allow. Yeah, that is a very important thing. The students should have an open mind and imbued with Shraddha. Then the Guru can do the chipping work. Yeah. So the Guru will, like a sculptor, remove neti, you are not what you take yourself to be, And then finally, after negating, after chipping, shedding all the ignorance, avidya nivrittihi, then that Paramatattvam is revealed. So that is also a meaning given by Acharyas. Yeah. And the third meaning we saw was body language, how even by a gesture, we can convey a lot, no? A namaste conveys greeting, So the chin mudra that we already saw is the Jivatma, the index finger, bends and connects with Parameshwara, symbolized by the thumb, which is the most significant part of the hand, and the Jivatma has disconnected from the matter principle, denoted by the three fingers. Yeah. So the three fingers can stand for the three bodies, three gunas, the three lokas, bhuhu, bhuvaha, suvaha, or the three states of experience, Jagrat, Sapna, Sushupti, ityadi. Yeah. Then what is remaining is the circle, which is Purnam. So you are the nature of Purnam Brahma. Yeah. Purnam Brahma is fullness, Ananda Swarupaha. Yeah. So all this has come in the Dhyana Shloka itself. Yeah. So we see that just by seeing the symbolism of the Dakshinamurthy, we get the teachings also, even before the verse 1 has begun. Yeah. Now let us go to the fifth shloka, which is displayed on the screen. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaika Murtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. The last word, Namaha, is Namaste. Yeah, but Namaha in Sanskrit means na mama, na me. That means not mine, not me, but you. No? So the devotee is saying, nothing belongs to me. It is all you, Bhagavan. You are my true essence. And whatever you've given me, I possess a few things, but I don't own anything. So that Namaha is a very significant word there. And we see that all the other words are in Chaturthi Vibhakti, yeah, dative. So Namaha, salutations to Dakshinamurthy. Om Namaha, who is Pranava Artha. Now Pranava is a name for Om. Yeah, Pranava stands for Om. And Om, is the shortest but most powerful mantra. We see how Om is prefixed to all the mantras we chant, whatever it is, to whichever deity. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Devyai Namaha, ityadi. Yeah? So Om is Pranavaha, but Dakshinamurthy, you are the Artha, essence of Om. Yeah? And this Om, in Sanskrit is made up of 3 letters. A, U, Ma. Akara, Ukara, Makara. Now, Om. Om. You see, the Om, as we pronounce it, then it ends in silence. Yeah. Now, the A of Om stands for the entire gross universe. Or you can say my entire waking state, where I'm so busy for 10 to 12 hours a day. That is A. Yeah. And U symbolizes the entire Sukshma Prapancha, the subtle universe. And that is also including the dream states. Yeah, me as a dreamer. And Makara is the entire causal universe, the seed-like state. When the universe goes back into the seed-like state, that is called Karana Avastha. Yeah, just like we also, when we stop dreaming, then we fall into deep sleep. Then that is the Karana Shariram. Yeah? So look at this Ma. We have covered all the Brahmanda and all the states of experience possible. And here the shloka says that Dakshinamurthy, or my Guru, you are the essence of that Om. So the silence that follows Om, there the Mandukya Upanishad has the name for that silence, that is Turiyam. Yeah? So that Turiyam is the pure essence called Shuddha Chaitanya. Yeah? Today, even, NASA has a few years back, I think, they have, documented that the vibration coming from the sun, solar orb, is Om. They have measured it, and that vibration corresponds to that Om sound. Then you are Shuddha Jnana. You are that Shuddha Chaitanyam. You are that Turiyam that is invariably present. If you all remember, we have done the Pratasmarana shloka now. Pratasmarami hridi samspuradatmatattvam Satchit sukham paramahamsa gatim turiyam Yat swapna jagara sushuptim avaiti nityam Tat brahma nishkalamaham nacha bhuta sangha. Here the chant in Pratasmarana, we say that I am not this combination of 5 elements, but I am the constant, underlining the 3 states of experience. Yat swapna jagara sushuptim avaiti nityam. I am that nityam, invariable constant, which is Shuddha Jnanam, which underlies or supports all the 3 states, waking, dream, deep sleep. Yeah? And that is who you are, Ekamurti. So that Ekamurti refers to the only real form. Although, Dakshinamurti is really formless, yeah, but can assume any form. Yeah? So that Ekamurti refers to the true essence, which is Shuddha Jnanam, Shuddha Chaitanyam, and that is the essence of Om. Yeah? Then Nirmalaya. Nirmalam is pure, yeah, without malam, impurity. Yeah. So what is the impurities? So Shankaracharya will say the impurities in my mind are raga, dvesha, yeah, in all this papa, punyam, kama, krodha, lobha, all these vrittis that are making me tense and affecting me, these are the subtle impurities. No, we're not talking about physical impurities, which will be cleansed by a bath. Nirmalaya. So in temples, we have this early morning Nirmalaya Darshanam. Guruvayur and all, it's very beautiful. So without Alankara, they will have this Nirmalaya Darshanam. So there also we see that is that true essence, that crystal clear, without any malam. Yeah? So here, namaha to that Nirmala Dakshinamurti. And because Dakshinamurti is free from malam, and hence Prashanta. Prashanta is ever tranquil, ever peaceful. There is no disturbance. Dakshinamurti is never affected. You can see in the picture behind me how peaceful, radiating that Ananda Swarupa is Dakshinamurti, the Lord. Yeah? That is called this Prashantaya. And then unto that Dakshinamurti, my Namaskara. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaika-murtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Often, we will hear singers like M.S. Amma who will be, offering her performance at the feet of Kanchi Mahapariva, who is Dakshinamurti for her. Yeah. So these dhyana shlokas are an upasana to tune my mind to that aspect of Dakshinamurti before understanding what or who Dakshinamurti is. Yeah. So there we have this Prashanta Dakshinamurti. In the Bhagavad Gita, we have seen one shloka in chapter 2, where that Swarupa of the Lord is likened to the ocean depth. Yeah? Just like on the surface of the ocean, there will be turbulence, waves, and all kinds of movement. But in the heart, ocean depth is a constant. It is ever tranquil. So that is the Swarupa of a Jnani, Swarupa of Dakshinamurti, that is ever Prashanta. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaika-murtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. So with that, we have completed the 5 dhyana shlokas to Dakshinamurti, and we are almost ready to enter the first verse. Now, we see that this Swami Chinmayananda, called this Dakshinamurthy Stotram as a PhD, a doctorate. Yeah. So, the ones who have studied, students who studied Upanishads, or Gita, for a few years, we will be really able to appreciate the content of the verses. Yeah. And for others who are just beginning, what I'm going to do now is give a little foundation. Some groundwork has to be done so that we can take off. Yeah. Now we see that the first 3 lines of each of the verses that are following, there are 10 verses, and the first 3 lines describe the Atma Swarupa or Brahma Vidya. And Shankaracharya gives the content of the Upanishad in a very capsulated form in the first 3 lines of each of the 10 brilliant verses. And the 4th line is common. Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Yeah? That invisible Dakshinamurti, who is visible as my own Guru, yeah, I offer my salutations. Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Yeah. So, if you remember, Shankaracharya left abandoned home at a very young age in search of a Guru. Yeah. And then he meets his Guru, who is Govinda Bhagavatpada Acharya in the Narmada Valley. Yeah. And what does the Guru ask Shankaracharya? Kosi, kahasi, who are you, my child? He asks. No? And Shankaracharya gives an answer, and that answer is what we know as Nirvana Shatkam. Manobodhya hankara chittani naham nacha shrotra jihve nacha ghrana netre nacha vyoma bhumir na tejo na vayuho chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham. So even before the Guru can teach, Shankaracharya has, talked Vedanta. So what does Shankaracharya say there? He says, "Oh Gurudev, I am not these 5 elements. I am not the mind, buddhi, ahankara, chittam. Then what am I? Chidananda, Shivoham, Shivoham." So Shankaracharya, we know, is an incarnation of Shiva, and so born only to be a, Mangala Swarupa for the whole world, So he can say that, Shivoham, Shivoham. So that way the Upanishad wants to reveal my true nature as that Nirmala, Prashanta, Chidananda Swarupaha, as the Shivaha. Yeah. But what generally happens is that my experience, do I feel Prashanta, Chidananda Swarupaha? Yeah, all the time? Mostly it will be no. Yeah. Then what do I take myself to be? To just give a small example, I take myself to be Professor Sharma, who is a senior citizen, IIT professor, born in Pune, settled in Malaysia, parent, grandparent, cricket enthusiast, whatever, And then we have a whole lot of IDs, PAN card, Aadhaar card, passport, voter ID, driver's license, then social media profiles. So all these are descriptions of who I think I am, my attributes, qualifications, my status, all this is my present understanding. Yeah. So then the Upanishads say that is fine, that is correct. But here there are 2 distinct entities. Yeah? So one is, Shastra says, you are Atma. Yeah? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Atma. That Atma we just saw in Dhyana Shloka number 5. That is an independent entity. And Tattvabodha, if you remember, defined Atma as Trikalepi Yat Tishtati Tat Satyam Atma. That which holds good or is present in all the 3 periods of time is Atma. And that Atma is Satyam. And that is who you really are. Yeah? Okay, fine. No? Then what about all these other identities? I am a female, I am a mother, I am an Indian, all these. So these are come under Anatma. Why under Anatma? Because I was not always married, I was not always a grandparent, I was not born as a grandparent. So anything that I experience, anything that is changing, is classified as Anatma, or there is a technical word, mithya. Yeah? So if we understand Satyam and mithya, Vedanta is over. We can pack our bags and go home. Yeah. So Satyam Atma is that which is independently existing, which is not subject to time and which is all pervading. Yeah? Then everything else, my age is changing, my status changes, profession changes, my hometown changes, my qualifications, and so many things change about me. Of course, date of birth does not change in this one birth, but if you see this temporary nature of whatever that changes, and more important, what I experience, that it comes under Anatma. Yeah. So these two are very important. Two distinct entities, Atma and Anatma, or Satyam, Mithya, or Drik, Drishya, yeah? Or subject, object. Yeah? Now, if I look around in the world, what all do I experience? I am experiencing right now, all of you, you're all listening, attentively. Then I'm experiencing the air. I'm experiencing the dogs barking outside. I may be experiencing the hunger in my stomach, So whatever I experience in the world is Anatma, because I cannot be that which I experience. Yeah? Swamiji will say, you cannot see the same Swami, or in this case, Swamini, twice. But next moment, the light which is reflected off my body and reached your eye lens, this body has changed. The Swamini body. I've become 1 minute older. And after this Dakshinamurthy Stotram, we are all going to be 1 hour older. We means the body, right? So that is the nature of Anatma. Now I experience the world, it is Anatma. Then I experience my relationships, the food, the garden. What about the body? I experience the body? Yes. So the body comes under Anatma. What about the mind? Do I experience my mind? Definitely. I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm jealous, I'm confused, I'm peaceful, I'm compassionate, hungry, thirsty, tired. All these mental modifications also I'm able to observe. So whatever I can observe, whatever I can experience comes under Anatma. Yeah. So this is called the Drik, Drishya, Viveka, or Neti, Neti. So Drik is the ultimate observer, and Drishya is all that is observed. Yeah? Have you noticed that even when we are very sad, there is something in me that is observing the sadness. Yeah. So there is a sakshi. And even in the middle of sadness, sometimes I can think of something else and smile. I can have my cup of coffee and smile even in the midst of sadness. Yeah. So, which shows us that the mind is also, like the world, it's experienced, it is an object, it is matter. Yeah. So I call these three, body, mind, world, as BMW. BMW is Anatma. The best BMW you have, still it requires maintenance. It will have wear and tear. Anatma. But Atma is who I really am. So says the Upanishads. So let me, accept that for the time being and see if it is really true. Yeah? Now the question may come to our mind, who am I? Am I Professor Sharma, the example that I gave, or am I Atma? So am I the Anatma, all that goes into the personality of Professor Sharma, or Atma, which the Upanishads? Answer is both. So just because something is Anatma, I don't want to dismiss it. Can I forget I'm a mother and neglect my child? Can I forget that I am a citizen of India and not pay the taxes? So Anatma is very important, yeah. But the Shastra says that you are more than all these Anatmas put together. In fact, Pujya Swamiji says it in the best way possible. He says you are Atma, which is the nature of fullness, yeah, Ananda Swarupaha, and everything else, your PhD degree, your children, grandchildren, your wealth and property, your beauty, looks, age, whatever you have, they are bonuses. They are value additions. Yeah, plus. Yeah? So you are already, complete, full, and Prashanta Nirmalaya, and anything else that you have are the add-ons, the value additions. They are to be considered as bonus. So then, see whether I have something or I don't have something I am already full, no? That is where we need this knowledge, no? So the more we focus on anatma, there will be a pull towards the matter, and I will lament for something that I don't have, or I will be unnecessarily, proud that I have something. Then I am afraid that I will lose it. Yeah. So that is the value of Brahma Vidya, or this knowledge. Yeah. So that is the understanding that essentially the jiva, the jiva, you and me, we are essentially the Paramatattvam, Atma, endowed and blessed with Anatma body, Anatma mind, Anatma, whatever extensions you want to give, you can give. Yeah? So that is the healthy combination that we have, that I have these Anatma instruments, which with which I interact with the world. See, right now, with the Anatma body, mind, sense organs, you are able to listen, and I am able to communicate. Yeah. So very valuable Anatma is. So mithya is very important. But the problem is, if I get entangled and think that the mithya is absolute Satyam. So the mix-up, So that is where the viveka comes into importance. No? Satyam, mithya, atma, anatma, subject, object, drik, drishya. Yeah? If you are clear about these two, that is what Vedanta is all about. The two significant entities, atma and anatma. Now, most of you already know all this because you are exposed to the teachings. So this is mostly for those who are coming and listening for the first time. So I am giving some groundwork or foundation. Yeah. Now, let us see a little bit of the first verse. Yeah? So in the first verse, what we have seen the fourth line already, which is common to all the verses. Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Nama Idam Shri Dakshinamurthaye Namaha. Now the first line is Vishwam. Yeah? Vishwam means what? The world, yeah, or the universe. So Vishwam. So right now, what is the universe for me? So the universe is usually understood as this amazing diversity, the species, the plurality, the nama, rupa, kriya. Nama, rupa, kriya means names, forms, and functions. Yeah? So you take a mosquito, Swamiji will say, mosquito is nama, rupa, and its function is to bite. And why does it bite? Because it needs the blood donation from you. So you see, anything in the universe, nama, rupa, kriya, yeah? Including my body, mind, sense organs. So this is Vishwam. Yeah? Now, the Vishwam, the world, is seen outside of myself, right? And is it independent of me? Yes. The initial answer will be yes. Yeah. I see that, this flower, the flower is outside of me. I'm holding it in my hand. Yeah. Definitely it is an independent object, independent of me. But now the Shastra is going to reverse that vision and say that the world is very much connected to me. The world is dependent on me, and in fact, the world is in me. So that is the vision. Yeah, that the existence of the flower depends on me. The flower is in me. Yeah, and the flower is connected to me. So it is not an isolated object. Yeah. So we will go deeper into this. This is just the beginning. Now, how do we understand that? Is, how do we experience the world, this Vishwam? Through the 5 organs of knowledge. Yeah, Jnanendriyani. So, Jnanendriyani are the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. Yeah, and through these Jnanendriyani, what is entering my mind? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Shabda are the sounds. I pick up sounds of the, supposing I'm walking and a sound of a truck I hear. Even without turning, I jump aside, right? I don't want to be knocked down by the truck. So they're very useful. The data brought in by the Pancha Jnanendriyani are sounds, forms and colors, and taste, smell, and touch. Sometimes, when something crawls over my leg, I hope not now, I jump. Yeah. Because my skin has picked up the crawling, whatever. Yeah. So like that, the taste of the dosa, the form and color of the flowers, the sound of the vehicles, and the rough and soft sensations on the skin, the smell, all these are data input to the mind. Yeah. And what does the mind do? The mind will interpret it. Oh, flower. Yeah. Yes. I know what a flower is. This is in fact a rose. Yeah. A red rose or a pink rose. No? Scent gulab. No? Now, if you show the rose to a child, it is not going to say it is a rose. Yeah. Because the mind cannot interpret that yet. Yeah? At that tender age. So we see that the whole world is experienced by me in my mind. Yeah. So if I see a person, I avoid that person and go another way. Why? Because there is a perception of dislike in my mind. Yeah. So friend and enemy are in the mind. And all the external objects, they are in my mind as what? As a mental concept. That's called vritti. Yeah? So when I look at the rose, right now what has happened? The rose has created a rose vritti in my mind. A thought. Vritti means a thought. So the thought that is coming in my mind, that is lit up by what? Atma. Yeah? So that is where, see, the mind we know from Tattva Bodha, and even otherwise, it is subtle matter. So the matter cannot know another matter, right? So the mind, which is lighted up by Atma, the Atma lights up the rose vritti in my mind. And in my mind, there is a concept or understanding, this is a rose. Yes, I know the rose. This is scent gulab. It is very fragrant. I love roses. All these perceptions are happening where? In the mind. So although externally there is a form, there is a color, but the very existence and understanding of the rose is happening in my mind. And that is how we can say that the whole Vishwam, anything I perceive, extend the logic to the whole world, anything and everything I perceive about the world is in my mind. Yeah? So that is why we say that the world is connected to me, the world is dependent on me, the world is in me. Yeah. So when you listen again, you will be more clear about it. So here, what is the connection between Atma and Anatma? So Shankaracharya, in the very first verse, he gives two examples. The first example is the example of a mirror. And the second example is the example of a swapna, dream. Yeah. So darpana is mirror and swapna is dream. Yeah. So now look at the first line, which says Vishwam darpana drishya mana nagari tulyam nijantar gatam. So this Vishwam, now take the second word, but start from right to left. I've told you the samasa compounds are to be unpacked from right to left. So this Vishwam, the world or the universe, is tulyam. Tulyam means equivalent. Equivalent to what? Nagari, city. What kind of city? Drishyamana nagari. Drishyamana means that which is seen, perceived. Where? Darpana, mirror. So you see how we moved from right to left. So the world is equivalent to the reflected city in a mirror. Now let us understand that first. When you go to a big shopping mall or a hotel, sometimes they place a big mirror there. Nowadays, everywhere there are CCTVs also, right? So what is reflected in the mirror? The people coming and going, examining the goods, talking to each other. So you see all the events happening in the proximity of the mirror reflected inside the mirror. That is what is Darpana Drishyamana Nagari. And Shankaracharya says, this world is like the reflected city in the mirror. Yeah. Now, why does he say that? Let us understand. Now, in the morning, after we take a bath, what do? Generally, we would look into the mirror and do our makeup, right? I'll put my vibhuti, some other people will put lipstick or, kumkum and comb your hair. But do you put the bindi on the reflection in the mirror or on yourself? We don't put the bindi on the reflection in the mirror, right? But I put it on the original face. So now the question is the reflection in the mirror real or not? Now, we have to say both because the reflection of my face or the city is in the mirror. Yeah, it is there, but it is not absolutely real. Yeah, because when the person goes away, then there is no reflection. Only the mirror remains. Yeah? So here, the point to be noted here is that the mirror is supporting the reflection. So the mirror is equivalent to be understood as Atma, and the reflected city, Darpana Drishyamana Nagari, is Anatma. Yeah? So Vishwam, the world, who is giving reality to this world? I, the Atma. Yeah. So the entire world is like a reflected city in a mirror. Yeah. And just as the mirror is the Adhara, supports the reflection of anything that comes in front of it, so too the Atma that I really am is supporting Anatma. Yeah. So which means, again, come back to the rose, the existence of the rose, yeah, is lit up in my mind by Atma. The sun, the stars, the moon, anything and everything you take are there externally also, but subjectively, what gives in the reality, the mental concept, the understanding, everything that happens in my mind. Now, just to give you an example, you go to sleep and then in your deep sleep, yeah, somebody is trying to wake you up, but there is no world for you. Why? Because there is no mind. Yeah. So when there is a mind, then only the world has a reality. Yeah. So where there is a mirror, there are reflections. So the reflections don't have an absolute status. Yeah? Now in the CCTV, the shopkeeper sees in the mirror somebody is doing shoplifting. Will he, grab hold of the reflection or go to the original person? He will go to the original person. Yeah? So the reflection in the mirror is for us to understand the nature of Anatma. Yeah? And the mirror is Atma. Yeah? So this example, the Darpana Drishtantaha, is for us to understand that Atma is the significant true nature which supports or lends existence and illumines the whole Anatma. Yeah? So let's come to the body, mind, sense complex. We already saw that is Anatma, right? Body, mind, sense complexes, is Anatma. So what is, making the body, mind, sense complex function? Atma. So Shastra brings out the nature of that Paramaswarupa Atma, which is self-evident, self-luminous, and because of the Atma, we have all these Nama Rupa Kriyas, the entire world of plurality, and the Anatma becomes active, becomes sentient, becomes functioning. So now you see the sambandha between Atma and Anatma. So this is the first Drishtanta given. Now I'll tell you just the next one in brief, and then we will go to we will conclude the class basically. So let's do the second Drishtanta, which is Swapna Drishtanta, dream. Now, all of us dream, but not all of us remember the dream, right? When we get up. Yeah. So last night, let us say, I dreamt that I had gone to our Gurukulam in Anekatti. Anekatti, Ane Nariya irukkonga, elephants. Yeah. So I dreamt that I was chased by an elephant. Yeah. And that elephant is chasing me. Usually we will dream of a tiger chasing, right? So here we will change it to elephant. So elephant is chasing me and I'm running for my life. Yeah, I'm running. Then what happens? I suddenly see a spaceship waiting in the dream. So I'm being very, creative here. So I see a spaceship here because I watched a lot of science fiction perhaps. So, and the spaceship opens the door and I get into the spaceship. And I go where? I go to Mars planet in the dream. Yeah. And there I have lunch with the Martians. And then of course, it's a little different from our idli dosa. But after having lunch with the Martians, then again the spaceship travels and goes where? Comes back to Prithvi Loka, but to a different yuga. I go to Treta Yuga and I find myself in the middle of Mahabharatam in the Kurukshetra battlefield. And I am just next to the chariot in which Sri Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. And what is Sri Krishna telling Arjuna? Uttishta, get up and fight. And at that moment, I get up. Whether Arjuna gets up or not, I get up. So I get up and find myself where? On my bed. Yeah. So in 2 minutes, the dream took me beyond, across kilometers and light years and across yugas. So then, was the dream real? Is it Anatma or Atma? The answer is again both. When I was dreaming, do I think that I'm dreaming all this? Oh, just a dream. Swamini, don't be scared. Elephant is not real. No. Very real. Yeah. So as I'm dreaming, then the dream is very real. Yeah. But the moment I wake up, the dream is negated and I say, Anatma. Yeah. And I'm relieved, or I may be disappointed also. In the dream, I won a lottery, 3 lakhs, or I became that crorepati. What is that? Kaun banega crorepati? I got 1 crore from Amitabh Bachchan. But can I deposit it in my bank account in the waking state? No. Yeah. So the dream is Anatma. But we know it as Anatma in the waking state. So the Shastra, why is it giving us a dream example, Drishtanta? Because it says, Ramana Maharshi has also said the same thing, that life also is like a dream. Yeah? What kind of dream? Ajnana Swapna, Ajnana Nidra. Yeah? So as long as, I see Atma, Anatma, as long as I'm ignorant of my true nature, then I will take the Anatma to be very real. And I will be happy, I will be sad. And I will have a yo-yo life. Living amidst the Anatma without knowing my higher reality. But once I know my true nature as Nirmala, Prashanta, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Atma, Brahma, Shuddha Chaitanyam, then this anatma will be the value additions. Yeah? So the Shastra says, wake up to the jiva. And how do the Shastras cannot speak the, books? But what is Dakshinamurthy comes in the form of my guru, and the guru unfolds the teachings, and through the teachings, the guru attempts to wake up the jivas. Wake up the jivas from the dream of life. Yeah. So the dream of life is, yes, it's beautiful. I'm enjoying life. I'm enjoying my retirement. Fine. But do you know your essential higher nature? If you don't, then you're missing out on the most significant aspect. Yeah. So that is this, that you are essentially divine. Just to end with one funny anecdote. Yesterday, I got a call on the mobile, and the lady said, Madam, you have won an award. I said, oh, really? What kind of award? And she said, please come and collect it from near the Lifestyle building in Begumpet. I said, okay, but can you tell me more about the award? Then she said, 30,000 rupees, and there is a food coupon and holiday voucher and a dinner set. I said, no, thank you. I said, there is no reason for me to get the award because I have not shopped there and I don't see any reason to get this call, She said, no, madam, it is this number and please come and collect it today. I said, please, forward all those gifts to somebody else. So why I'm giving this anecdote is it not dreamlike? Somebody enters my life in the waking state, and after that, I say hello and get to know them, and then they're gone, disappeared. So let us not think that the waking state is very real and dream is very illogical. No. Ramana Maharishi says, no. Life is also a dream as long as you are unaware of your, higher nature, you are still dream. Yeah. So that is, I think we'll stop here because it is quite deep and profound. Yeah. And Dakshinamurthy Stotram is really Nidhi Dhyasana Grantha. Very contemplative verses, So that is why I chose to give some groundwork and foundation. And in this first verse, this is what is said, that the world is anatma, like even the reflected city in the mirror. And the world is nija antargatam. It is in me, just as the dream is not outside of me, but it is a projection of my mind. It is in me. Yeah. But by Maya, I think it is outside, Then, yat sakshat kurute prabodha samaye swatmanam eva dvayam. When Dakshinamurthy, as my guru, through the teachings, awakens me, and through the Upanishads, I understand my true nature, swatmanam eva advayam, then, the dream is gone, yeah. Now, that doesn't mean like there's a difference, when I get up in the morning, the dream of Kurukshetra and Mars is gone. But when I wake up from the dream of life, does the life disappear? No. That distinction you have to make. Life will continue, but I will have a very healthy approach and I will have a clear understanding, what is Atma, what is Anatma, what is the sambandha between the two, and so on. But, we have to do this first verse again, of course. And because of the introduction I had to give, it took so much time. But the next session, I hope to cover 2 more verses, 1 and 2. So I'll just conclude this session now. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat.
Pranamama.
Pranams to everybody.
Thank you.
Now